Hey everybody, in this video I'm going to show you how to make a template so you can make your own steampunk goggles. In this video I used a pair of $8 welding goggles that I got on Amazon, some aluminum foil, masking tape, a Sharpie, a very sharp knife, craft foam, hot glue, something that you can use to make a lens, a measuring tape, or a ruler, whichever you have will work just fine. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our goggle cup after we remove the lenses and the rest of the goggles, and we're going to go ahead and wrap that in aluminum foil. You'll see why the foil is important in a later step. Once you have the foil wrapped around the eye cup, make sure you work out as many of the wrinkles as possible. This will ensure you have a very detailed pattern. Next, take your masking tape and wrap the eye cup in at least 3 layers of tape in an alternating pattern. This will ensure that you have a very strong pattern whenever you remove it from the eye cup. This step is very important, so make sure you take your time and build up a good layer of tape. Once you're satisfied with the layer of tape you have, go ahead and mark around the edges and also mark out where you're going to put the seam for your goggles. On this pattern, I'm going to put the seam right here in the middle of the inside of the goggles. That way when we put the nose attachment on, it should hide most of the seam. Next, you want to mark out along the outside edge of your goggle cup. This will ensure that you have a nice clean pattern. Once you've marked out your lines, you can go ahead and take your sharp knife and cut the excess tape from around the outside perimeter of the goggles. Once you've made the perimeter cuts, you can start to remove the foil and see your pattern starting to take shape. Now cut along the seam and remove your pattern from the eye cup. See how easily the foil allows you to remove the eye cup? Now that your pattern has been liberated, pull out your craft foam and peel away the tape from the foil, revealing a pattern sticker that you can place right onto the foam. Put the tape down as flat as possible, working out as many of the creases as you can. This will ensure that you have a more accurate pattern. Now you can cut the pattern out of the craft foam, as I did here. Be sure to label your pattern. We used the left side eye cup, so this will be a left side pattern. And label the back side of the pattern right side, because the goggles are symmetrical. So now that you have the pattern, you can make as many eye cups as you want to. Drawing inspiration from a set of leather goggles that I found online, I set out to start designing the mounting points for the straps. I began by placing some masking tape over the template of the eye cup that we just designed. The masking tape will allow me to later transfer this design. Using a measuring tape and a circle template, I started to rough out my design. I knew that eventually I was going to make a set of leather goggles using this template, so I went ahead and made the opening wide enough to accommodate the strap that I already had. This opening will be 3/4 of an inch by 1/4 of an inch. I measured it out, and I separated by 1/8 of an inch in between the two holes. I wanted these mounting points to have some character, so I started sketching out some triangles, trying to find a shape that I liked. I wanted something that would complement the other accent piece that I was working on the top part of the goggle. Once I found a design that I liked, I started to go over it with a Sharpie. That way it would be easier to cut out later and transfer to a template. Our design has been sketched out and ready to be transferred to a template, so I think I'll go ahead and wrap it up for now, and in the next video we'll continue making a pattern for steampunk goggles. Thanks for watching.